A peace plan for Gaza. For the plan to advance, Hamas must disarm.
Ms. Osterbrooks, no.
Oh, I forgot about the soda. Thank you. There's a lot of people at the store. No, they're trying to vote to see if they're gonna open it back up.
With the food stamp thing?
Or the government.
No, but I just left 996 store at the time because.
Cops going to the store?
Yeah, like something happened.
I want to know what happened. Probably got robbed.
Mr. Murphy. No. Mr. McConnell, aye. Mr. Whitehouse, no. Mr. Fetterman, aye. Mr. Warnock, no. Mr. Risch, aye. Mr. Blumenthal, no. Mr. Hawley, aye. Ms. Ernst? Aye. Mr. Grassley, aye. Ms. Slotkin, no. Mr. Peters, no. Mr. Ossoff, no. Mr. Schumer, no.
We need 4 more votes, so it looks like we're gonna open up. I think. We need 4 more.
Mr. Coons, no.
We need 60 to open up. We need 4 more votes.
Mrs. Gillibrand, no.
It's 56 to 39. That'll be messed up if it don't pass. It already passed in the House. They just needed to pass here.
Mr. Booker, no.
Oh, I hear it. No, 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 no. Okay, I'm back. Let me see what you guys said. Where's my glasses? Where's my glasses? Okay, let's see. Hi, Benjamin. Hey, Stardust. Got your live playing. Hey. Thank you guys for the 4 likes.
Make Thanksgiving unforgettable this year with inspiring designs from Living Spaces. Create a warm, inviting atmosphere and with free shipping.
Come on, y'all. Why do it take so long? Jeez. Hi, guys. Okay, God, they ain't doing nothing. They ain't saying nothing. I'm finna get up. I just thought maybe they'd come to a decision here pretty quickly because it said an hour ago. So I don't know how long it been. Almost 2 hours, but it been over an hour. All they've been doing is just saying no, no. think they only need 4. I don't know how many they need. So I guess they already got 56. So yeah, just hope and pray they get it settled. And things can get back to normal. I guess it's 56. So I don't know what's taking so long. They just standing around talking. Must be nice just to stand around talk and make much money they make. But yeah, I know. It's hard work. Hard work. But I just need really, really, really one person to go over to my Patricia's Everyday Glow channel so I can get 50. So I can start going live over there and so I can hurry up and get monetized over there. So please, just one person. That's all I need. One little bitty itty person to go subscribe to that channel. As soon as YouTube approve it, I will start going live over there so I can hurry up and get monetized over there. And on that channel, it will be a little bit of everything. My garden, just a little bit of whatever I feel like doing over there. And I'm going to start my divorce procedure pretty soon here. Hopefully, not this coming week, but next week, Monday, I'm start focusing on that. And yeah, if anybody out there want to learn how to get a divorce through the legal aid, follow my procedure and I'll show you. The legal aid is supposed to help us poor people. So yeah, I'm going to start that over there pretty soon. So I don't know what they do. They just stand around, talk. I'm just sorry for that little boy sitting down. Well, he ain't a little boy. He just sitting down like, Jesus Christ, hurry up and be over. I am so tired of this. Let me show you guys here. Where's the phone at? This one. Let me show you guys. He just sitting there like, I'm so tired of this. See that little boy sitting right there in the middle. Wait, let me wipe the phone. See that little boy just sitting down right there. He looks so depressed. He just sitting there like, I want to go home. Yes, I hope it'll be over soon. See all they doing is just standing around, sitting around, doing nothing. That's all they do. Sitting around, standing around, moping. They ain't said no in a while. Hi. Let me see, what's your name with my glasses? Hi, green eyes. Are your eyes really green? How long have I been on here? 27 minutes? Okay. I'll stay on here to 30 minutes. Are they? Oh, I bet you got some pretty eyes. I love green. Green, blue, and like a brownish. I started. We are waiting for 4 damn to vote. So I guess they just need 4. My grandson had that color. Okay. That's what I like about mixed kids. Some of them come out with different color eyes. Somebody say the votes are done, but I don't know. Mm. Somebody said they waiting on 4 more Republicans to vote. All Democrats had already voted, so. Mm. I'm President Black. Are you? Okay. 100%. Okay. No, that's a girl. I thought that was it looked like a girl, then like a boy. It looked like a girl now. Yeah, I think that's a lady. She just like, I'm so over this. I'm ready to go home. I wonder where did the kid with the 90 fingers at? 4. Then somebody talking about 4 Democrats remain. They don't know. We probably won't find out till tomorrow. Mm-hmm. I hope they get past all my duty members. Why did they stop voting? Yeah, why did they stop? Our Republicans have voted, yes. Rick Scott and Mike Lee are the 2. We're waiting on the 4 Democrats. Then somebody say Democrats already voted. So who knows? Because they know we're watching. Well, I guess they're on a break. Mm. So it's better to probably choose his care. What is that? Yeah, that lady not even there, so they must be on a break. Mm. 1, 2, 3. They need to hurry up. Girl, I'm gonna ask this too. Oh God. They don't care. They get to go home to them a nice steak and potato dinner tonight. So what do they care? Mm, what do people doing? They just sitting. The lady that was talking, she on a break. Somebody said maybe the lady had to go relieve some stress. That's messed up. People writing, keep it closed. She must be coming back because they're getting quiet. Mm.
The ACA tax credits
Oh, God, I
for the
don't know
people
why
of this
they
country
did
that we voted
that.
yesterday.
I don't know what happened. They switched to somebody else talking, so I guess it's gonna be a while. If I get in any news, I'll do a breaking news report. Not for real. Hey, I don't know why they went to the news for. I don't
This
want to see
agreement tonight
this.
is a win for the American people.
Oh, maybe they're
And
gonna
it's a win for
talk
those people
about
that
it.
are so
Let's
insistent.
see.
I'm hearing from all the time, protect our healthcare. Our judgment is the best way to do that is to get a bill on the floor. Because is there a guarantee it will pass? No. Is there a guarantee it will pass in the House? There is actually some very strong interest in the House. A possibility of a bipartisan bill and to get a discharge petition, and then perhaps we're on the way. And we have that expression from Republican senators who are interested in working on a bill that will deal with the ACA issue and perhaps additional healthcare issues at the same time. So what happened tonight is not the closing of a chapter, it's the opening of an opportunity. What the chapter it does close is the damaging shutdown that is only getting worse, that is only going to impact more and more people, and it's an opportunity for us to move forward on behalf of all the people of this country on the issue of healthcare, but also on making the federal government function. Thank you.
Well, good evening, everybody. At a time when families desperately need relief, Washington's dysfunction is making life harder for families, and the last 39 days are proof of that. A record-long government shutdown paired with record-high health insurance cost increases is not the kind of history that the American people want Congress to make. Over the last several weeks, I've heard from Granite Staters who can't afford a doubling of their health insurance costs. I've also heard from families about the deep pain that the government shutdown has caused, made worse by a president who illegally and repeatedly chose to cut off help for families who are just trying to buy groceries. After weeks of bipartisan conversations, I voted today to reopen the government so that we can get back to the work of helping Granite Staters. This agreement funds SNAP and food assistance programs, ensures that law enforcement, air traffic controllers, and other federal workers get paid, reverses the president's recent reckless layoffs and prevents them from happening in the future, and crucially, gives Congress a clear path forward to protecting people's health care. Our work to deliver relief for families now enters an important phase. Congress has 1 month to engage in serious bipartisan negotiations to extend the Affordable Care Act's expiring tax cuts that help people afford their health insurance. And let's be really clear, part of what has been happening is the time period to make that meaningful extension of these tax cuts has been dwindling. We are getting closer and closer to the time in which families have to decide whether they can buy their health insurance or not and enroll in health insurance in this coming year. So my Democratic colleagues and I have been ready to work on this issue, on extending these tax cuts for months. With the government reopening shortly, Senate Republicans now finally have to come to the table. Or, make no mistake, Americans will remember who stood in the way. So I urge Speaker Johnson to finally return the House of Representatives into session and quickly reopen the government. And I urge all Americans in communities red, blue, and purple to continue to speak out about the importance of affordable health care so that families across America can get that critical care that they need. Thank you.
Thank you. And I thank my colleagues for their good work. The vote tonight, and you heard.
Whether you're in an office, a bakery, or a construction site, 1-800-GOT-JUNK can make your junk disappear. We work with all types of businesses and can take just about anything. Let's talk and see how we can help you make space for possibilities. Get your quote today.
That is based on a service industry, tourism and travel. We are doubly hit. Tariffs, bad policies of this administration, and the shutdown was having an impact on travel to our state and quite honestly across the country. But it wasn't just that. We have federal workers that were suffering. We have TSA agents. We have airport controllers. And we were seeing lines to our food banks in northern Nevada. These were lines that I hadn't seen since the pandemic. And the stories were horrific. seniors in line needing food because they couldn't get access to the food that they usually would get at the federal level. One man came and refused to say who he was because he was embarrassed and said, I shouldn't be here, but he needed the food. Mothers coming to the food bank to get food for their children. My colleagues know that opening the government was key to stopping that pain. But here's the thing. We can open the government and we can still fight to address this looming healthcare crisis. It is true. Right now, in our states and across the country, Americans are seeing higher costs, higher premiums for their Affordable Care Act. These are people that need access to healthcare. I have families that rely on the Affordable Care Act and these subsidies so that their children who have a rare disease can access their medication. I have small businesses who rely on the Affordable Care Act and the subsidies to help cover the cost for their employees. This is a fight that the Republicans need to understand is not just happening in Nevada, it is happening across the country in every state, including those red states. This fight tonight is, I agree with Senator Angus, is just the beginning. This is the beginning to show and fight for Americans across the country. Let me just say this, with the government open, we can focus on passing a full bipartisan budget for 2026 that starts with a minibus that will restore funding that President Trump cut. It delivers millions of dollars in critical funding to states like Nevada, all across the country, and you will hear blocks the administration from future risks. We have an opportunity also to put Republicans on the record on the ACA. Are they committed to doing this? Are they committed? Leader Thune said he would come to the table on the health care once the government was open, and now he must follow through. If Republicans want to join us in lowering costs for working families, they have the perfect opportunity to show the American public. I expect Republicans to be at the table in the next few weeks. I expect the White House to be at the table, and if they do choose not to come to the table, they can own the disastrous premium increases that will continue to rise. They will own the fact that Americans across this country are going to lose access to health care. We were elected in the Senate to work on real solutions that help working families. It's our responsibility to work not only here amongst ourselves, but across the aisle to solve these problems for the Americans, make their lives a little bit easier. And that's what we've done tonight.
So, hey everybody, I'm the cleanup hitter because I joined this group I joined it 48 hours ago. Not for lack of interest, and I gotta applaud Jean Shaheen and this group because they have been having open meetings that anybody could participate in on negotiation, but I had my hands full focused on the Virginia elections until Wednesday morning. And as soon as that was over, I have now engaged with a particular purpose in mind. I knew the Democratic appropriators led by Patty Murray were gonna do the very best job they could to get these three approach bills queued up and moving forward. A bill, for example, that has very robust SNAP funding, very robust funding for the VA. I had confidence in that. And I had confidence in these guys that they were gonna get the best possible deal they could get from Republicans on the ACA. We were in a situation where SNAP recipients were suffering and there was no guarantee we would ever get to an ACA solution. Now we've got robust SNAP funding and a guaranteed vote, not a guaranteed outcome, but a guaranteed vote on ACA tax credits. But I engaged on the issue that I've been talking about for a month on the floor to Senator Thune, Katie Britt, Lindsey Graham, James Lankford, anybody who would listen to me on the Republican side. I've said what I need in Virginia, with 320,000 federal employees who live in households that probably encompass nearly 650 or 700,000 residents in my state, I need a moratorium on mischief. My Virginians have been suffering under this administration. The shutdown started on January 20. I need a moratorium on the punishing of the federal workforce. That's what I need. And so I joined this group to make sure that we could get important protections for federal employees. And what we have in this bill is the restoration of all the furloughed employees and a guarantee of their back pay. The restoration of all RIFT employees who got RIFT after October 1 with all of their back pay. And a guarantee of no RIFs. No RIFs going forward. 2 million federal workers, not just my 300,000, 2 million federal workers who are not uniformed military now have a guarantee of no RIFs going forward. So they don't have to go into the holiday season with anxiety about what's going to show up on their email one morning at 5:30 a.m. That's a big win for 2 million federal employees, and added together with these other ingredients of robust appropriations bills and a guaranteed path forward to vote on fixing the ACA, that made me sign on and say, yes, we can do it. I had a number of Republicans on the floor tonight said, we were amazed that you got that no RIF guarantee in there. And I'm glad that we did, and we all worked so hard on it together, and I have huge respect for my colleagues who made this happen. Thanks.
You say you're fighting on the Affordable Care Act. What do you say to your colleagues who say this isn't a fight, this is a capitulation? You're putting together, you're agreeing to a vote on a bill that it almost certainly will not become law, and you're allowing that to happen.
Well, first of all, as long as the government shut down, the clear statement from Senator Thune and the Republican majority, when they control the Senate, the House, the White House, was we will not talk about health care with you. So there was no vote that we were going to get on the Affordable Care Act, premium tax credits. We have a guaranteed vote by a guaranteed date on a bill that we will write. Not that the Republicans will write, although I do think it's important for us to engage with them because we need a bipartisan bill that we know is going to get enacted to provide the relief that Americans need. And I think there's a commitment on the part of many of our colleagues to do that.
But there's no guarantee this will become law.
There was never a guarantee that it would become law.
Well, just to follow up on that, Senator, because we understand that this vote will happen, but a vote on extending the tax credits, it does not guarantee that it's going to happen. So how do you explain, though, to your constituents why it was worth it to put up this fight for so long when in the end you did not get your key demand?
Because it wasn't working. How long would it take to not get a response to say it isn't working? In other words, it's been 6 weeks. There's been the Republicans made it clear they weren't going to discuss the health care issue, the Affordable Care Act, tax credits, until the shutdown was over. We tried to keep working that for 6 weeks. It didn't happen. The vote that we have is not a guarantee for sure. It's more of a guarantee. Here's the way I would put it. As I assessed it, there was zero chance of dealing with the ACA issue as long as the shutdown continued. Now, I don't know, 50-50? But there's a lot better chance now than there was this morning because nothing was happening and there was no evidence that another week or another 2 weeks or Thanksgiving or Christmas was suddenly, the Republicans were going to come to us and say, oh, we want to now talk about the ACA. If they weren't going to do it by now, what's going to change in the next 2 weeks is going to make them do it? And that was really the assessment. Again, I would say, right, as of this morning, there was a zero chance of having a work on the ACA. Now, there's a measurable chance. Will it be everything that everybody wanted? No, because we need 60 votes. And so there's going to be a negotiation. But Republicans have already started saying, well, here, if you did this or did that, maybe we can get there. So I would take a reasonable chance against no chance every day. And the other piece is, and we didn't really emphasize this, there are 3 important appropriations bills in this that would lock in SNAP for the rest of the year at a very substantial rate. Plus other benefits, veterans funding is guaranteed if we can get these 3 bills through. So there's a plus on that. And I think the odds are that we have a better chance of doing something about the ACA than we did not going into this. at some point, you have to decide, what is the best strategic step forward? And we believe that the evidence is that what we were doing wasn't working, and therefore, let's try something else.
The real question is, why would a president of the United States pit hungry children against sick children? And that is what President Trump has done.
Because he don't care.
I mean, this is outrageous. We can't reach agreement on government funding, so the government shuts down, and even though the law is clear that he could fund SNAP benefits during the shutdown, he did not. And then he also said, and by the way, I don't really care if people's health insurance premiums get so high they can't afford their care. That's on Donald Trump. My vote today was to do two things, both equally morally important and imperative. One is to make sure that the government is functioning so that our kids eat, so that our elderly citizens eat, so that our air traffic controllers can get some sleep and earn money, get paid while they are working, so that our veterans are protected, and continue the fight to a realistic platform to get the premium tax cuts done. And if that is not successful, then shame on the Republican Party and shame on Donald Trump. But the American people will see who stands with them on health care and who does not. And that will be the platform of the next stage of the fight. I hope we can find bipartisan agreement on an extension of those premium tax credits. In New Hampshire, couples who are 60 years old or so, earning $85,000 a year, are seeing like a $15,000 increase in their insurance premiums. This has to get fixed. And we have about a month to do it before the harm gets to be irreparable. And again, if the Republicans can't come to the table and do something reasonable on this, and make sure that people can afford their health care and that the whole private commercial market also doesn't see skyrocketing increases, then shame on them.
What do you say to the millions of Americans who are already in the Obamacare exchanges, seeing premiums skyrocket, who were hoping because of what you all said that they would get answers on what their premiums would be now, but have to wait weeks longer since you decided to open the government without immediate action on the subsidies?
Well, as Senator Hassan said so well, the Republicans weren't providing any commitment or even a willingness to vote or a willingness to discuss extending the premium tax credits. We have the opportunity to do that now, and we will hold their feet to the fire.
And just quick, most of us up here in the group of 8 that voted for this tonight have voted repeatedly with the Democratic strategy of we're not opening and we want you to take action on the ACA tax credit. But after 40 days, it wasn't going to work. So here we are in a situation, and this was the reality. SNAP recipients suffering, nothing happened on ACA. The vote tonight will be full, and not just last year's, but full and robust SNAP funding for SNAP recipients and a path on the ACA. So from suffering and no path, we've now got robust benefits and a path. And that's what we tell our constituents.
Senator, if I could just ask, there's already calls now from Democrats in the House that are saying that Leader Schumer should step aside, he should be replaced. The 8 of you today voting with Republicans to advance this plan to reopen the government, does that just further the divides within the Democratic Party right now?
No. When I talk to my constituents in New Hampshire, you know what they say to me? They say, why can't you all just work together to address the problems that are facing this country? We put the Senate back on a path to start doing that today, and we're going to continue to work that way.
All right, one last question.
If the president doesn't agree and Republicans block the extension of AC subsidies, would you guys be willing to vote again against government funding in January when this funding runs out?
That's certainly an option that I think everybody will consider. Thank you all.
Thanks, guys. Thank you, everyone. Senator, thank you.
So I don't know. I think what path they got to next year to do this again, I guess. I don't know. So, yeah. Okay, guys, when I get off of here, I'm gonna go to my other page and I'm gonna have 50, right, guys? So please, guys, anybody on here listening to me, go over to Patricia's Everyday Glow and subscribe. All I need is 1 subscriber so I can start going live and get this page monetized. Okay, guys? And I think that's it. Let me see what they said. What happened? I don't know, but I'm done. Let me see. Let me read something to see what it'll say. Let's get this done. So I guess they okay. I guess they gonna. We are still waiting. So I don't know. They still waiting on those 4 votes or what? So I guess we'll know in the morning or later on tonight. So I don't know. As long as it get tighter before my payday, I'm good. So I don't know if they just offered this to them. I don't know, guys. I ain't heard nobody say yay or nay. So bye, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming over, keeping me company. And where is my glasses? And I will see you next time. Bye, guys. I want to see 50 when I go to my other page. Bye, guys. Love you.